Is that a thing?
Right,
Yeah.
and we are back from our break. This is still session 1, in case I have forgotten what audio is what. So session 1, part 2. There we go. And we still have, I think, everybody. So, right. We faded out, obviously, on the king dismissing Professor. Does the Professor head back to the Arcadia?
Yeah, it gives them the sarcastic Renaissance bow and just like U-turns and walks off, and immediately starts doing calculations to see if he can outrun a bird.
As soon as you're about to take a step onto the kind of the bridge that goes over from the dock to the Arcadia, and you just hear, Lohengramm, and it's the voice of the king, obviously.
Yes, Your Majesty.
You should meet someone, you know.
Oh no. Wait.
You need a wife.
God damn it. Actually, it's like I feel like I would just say who, because like Ludvig doesn't have time for women.
What
He's got
about men?
machines to build.
Does he have time for men?
No time for men either. He's got machines to build.
So
So he has time machines.
the king says, "So, come back," and he just points in front of him.
Wait. Have I... What? He's confusing me now. Like he's
think-
want me to go to him again.
Yeah, he's pointing just in front of him, but he also looks confused as you look confused at him. But he's kind of like doing it mockingly back to you, as if, as if, oh look, I'm confused.
So Jeff Goldblum. I was just kind of eye roll again. Just like walk back.
I'm sorry, is this tiring for you?
No, I'm in peak physical condition. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Oh, this arse. This
RC.
Absolute.
Yes, and it's as if he's just remembering. Yes, so... And he looks as if looking through the crowd of all of his soldiers and his entourage and everything, and he's like,
Yeah, you're gone, Ryan.
am I? Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Said entourage. I got entourage.
Like, I mean, I did just stop talking, so...
Okay.
Oh, right,
Oh.
okay.
I mean, I'm in character here, guys. How dare you. So he's looking over at the entourage. Pause for dramatic effect. Yep, there it is. And he's looking over to the left, and he looks over to the right. He's like, and he just starts tapping like his finger against his lips. And he's like, where did she go? I mean, he moves you to the side, like he just puts his hands at either side of your shoulders, but doesn't touch, and just kind of gestures. And do you step in time with his hands?
Absolutely, I don't want him to touch me
Yep.
anymore.
And he kind of like moves you as if just miming, placing you to the side. And he goes, there she is. And as you look over, he leans to the guards and goes, where is she? And the guards like part ways, and this very like fancily decorated military garbed lady steps forward, and then she does the cross-armed salute. I'm just saying that vaguely, so you all have your own versions of that salute in your heads. Good luck. And she kind of goes down on one knee, unladylike, of course. And then he just kind of like does that thing where he's like, not like the way the Queen would wave, but he's doing it as a come on, hurry up, kind of gesture with his hand. He's like, yes, good, stand. And then as like the camera view is him in the middle of the camera, her at the right hand side of the screen, and obviously the Professor at the left hand side of the screen, almost marriage like. And he goes, and you just see him looking between the two, grinning really creepily.
I'm not getting forced married.
Are you saying that in character?
Absolutely not.
So he's
probably just cringing.
he is just grinning and like holding his hands up under his chin and looking between the two of you. Really, really creepy smile.
I'm just looking between the two. them.
She looks
confused,
deadpan
like,
serious as well. She's just like not breaking the I am a soldier here on, on duty.
She's one of those ones, isn't she? Oh no.
What? Women
One of
who
those
have a
ones.
job as a soldier and are disciplined.
Not one of those women's with jobs.
I mean, she could be carefree, like.
Or wench, as it's
Nathaniel, launch the ship. We've got women's with jobs here.
The women in our own crew will start expecting payments. Ouch.
Equal payment, no less. How
I mean,
dare?
do you even pay Ash?
I mean,
No.
She's
the
there
Dakota
with
guy
her.
understand money.
You're paid in tree.
How dare you?
tree
Who's
fiddy.
paid in
Tree
tree
fiddy.
Yeah. Tree fid.
Tree fiddy.
Oh no, I have
Oh,
Tree fid.
I know. I feel like I've screamed it 3 times now.
Awful.
Oh, it's sacrilege.
Anyway, so the creepy king is smiling and holding his hands up under his chin, and looking just between the two of you, like really awkwardly, just back and forth, as if, huh?
I'm just putting on like a sort of like teethy, sort of like confused smile, and I'm actually doing it right.
So like a
now.
grimace,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, basically.
And he's like, well, say something, Professor.
Hello? Guten Tag.
And he just looks like disgusted. Like, it just looks so disheartened, and he just kind of goes, well, you've kind of ruined it, really, haven't you?
I mean, I don't know what you want from me at this moment, sire. Tire.
Sire, I didn't. Shut up. So,
Fuck.
this is Jan. That's it, yes, Jan. She just nods. And he's just staring, kind of confused, as if, did I get it right? Is that an acknowledgement? It's just, and then he looks back at you, as if, what next?
Pleasure to meet you, Jan. Jan, right?
And he just kind of like puts his hand like, whoa, you aren't on first name terms yet.
Oh, this guy.
So, this is Commander Jan. And he just stops and looks over, and you hear like one of the soldiers shout, Senna. Like, yes, Jan Senna. This is Commander Senna. That's S-E-N-A for everybody who's starting to go do 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 do.
That's how he originally spelt his name.
Good. And so it's like Commander Jan Senna, and he's doing like really weird hand movements, like he's in a Vogue music video. And then he's still kind of looking at you expectantly, because every time he says something, he's as if he's revealing some amazing truth to you.
I was just kind of like, I just kind of like, get like about. It's like, Madame Sarah, Madame Sarah, in the German accent.
Are you deaf?
Possibly.
Oh, I'm so sorry. And he just stares like with that look of genuine shock and concern in his face. This, and he's just obnoxiously shouting, this is Commander Jan Senna.
Yes, I have.
Don't shout at me like I'm a commoner.
Oh God.
I'm not deaf. I was being considerate.
Thank you, Your Highness.
You're welcome.
Oh.
Commander. And she goes, yes, my liege. And then she does the cross salute again. And he goes, you see? Respect, discipline, sexy uniform. And he just kind of waves his hand over her. Like, this is the best I have. And you're, and he's like doing that kind of motion of, like with his hands as if people are walking. You're taking her away. And punch to the Arcadia with both hands. And you bring me nothing.
It's fantastic in a really hateful way.
Also, this is a. I feel like Clark is somewhere smiling because of the payback that you need to deal with this now instead of her having to deal with Cadfill in the other game.
I was about to say, he's going to be the villain, isn't he? He's going to turn up at the end.
Oh, probably be at the end, but maybe not as the villain.
Yeah.
Hi, I am the king. I'm also here. Why am I not the villain? I'm important. I'm in all the money.
Somebody fetch me a coin.
I just love that like the big bad guy is a big bad guy, such a big bad guy. Like, who are you? He doesn't know who I am. Fetch the money!
Someone pay this man. He doesn't know who I am. He must be so poor.
Keep giving him money until he knows me.
Anyway, back in the game.
Yeah.
You bring me nothing. And he just stares disappointedly at you.
In good time. Good time.
What time's a good time? This is midday. Is it midday? The sun's up. It's hot.
Numerous days. Numerous information takes time.
What, he looks like really confused.
You just stop talking.
He's like, so the king looks really confused. Like, what are you, a calendar now? Numerous days?
Really, I'll get my engraver.
Is the sun melting your brain? I heard your brain was important. You're sweating.
Yes.
He's sweating near me. He like turns around to like the good-looking man and just like tears his sleeve off, like the kind of weird silk kind of gown thing that he's wearing. And tears his sleeve off. He's like, "Fix this," and just kind of like throws it kind of delicately at you. Also,
Okay, so
someone
it just came in.
fix this man's sleeve.
Oh, danke. And I'll just kind of pat my head down. Like, it's awfully kind of your majesty. He's gone and revel in that.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
He turns round to Commander Senna. He goes, I'm ever so sorry about this. And just looks disgusted at you again. And you're one of... How? And he just starts like speaking half sentences. He goes, oh yes, so Commander Senna is in charge of those soldiers you asked for.
Why did you just say that sooner? Hello, Commander Senna. It's very nice to meet you. Yes.
She kind of like cleared her throat. Goes, yes, charmed, and like you can see the smile is like cracking stone. You know, she's like, and then
she's
goes
one of
back
these
to
old-
stoic kind of face.
No, don't know if I want to.
Oh.
You can keep up.
The king's just kind of in the middle of this, being like, "Why are you still here? It's midday."
It's a very good question. I will be off now. Goodbye,
Yes,
Your Highness.
yes, it is a goodbye. Go, and you can like
Bye.
shoos your way.
Uh,
Don't
come, Commander Senna.
Don't forget Commander Senna, as he just
Yes,
points
come.
at her. She like goes down on one knee, does the cross salute, and then stands up, about turns, and marches off on the ship. And then you see her put like her left hand up, and she just clicks her fingers, and 9 soldiers, like you hear the clunk of the armor as they all march behind her.
So that is 10 soldiers for the price of messages via bird. Very good, very good. I will see you later, My Majesty. Goodbye.
I certainly hope not.
I just bought my ship.
As you walk away over the kind of like the bridge, and you hear the clunk of the soldiers' footfall on the wooden platform, rickety as it is, and the professor's probably there shooing everyone across to be like, let's go, let's go, let's go. In the background, you just see King Pendragon just stare at the boy's sleeve, like the torn, like bare arm, and he's just looking at it, like, has someone not fixed this? And then that's where we'll cut on him. So, you hear a lot of trumpets and steam and hissing and piston noises as the royal entourage is the most obnoxious thing ever as it leaves.
And the wonders lie on death.
So probably Captain is probably the first person to greet you at the other side. There's like 10 soldiers who pass you, very like essentially like the upper guard. These are essentially like the SS of the the Human Republic, Commonwealth, Empire, etc.
I'd probably greet the captain or the commander of the group because I'd be able to tell which one of them.
She's the one you can see their face.
Yeah. And I'd give like the naval equivalent of the cross, the two hand salute, probably slightly different, as they always are to her. And introduce myself. I'm Captain Nathaniel Grayson of the Arcadia. Welcome aboard.
She like taps like a kind of scroll of orders at you, just against your chest. Goes, "Good. My men will need lodgings. You'll see to this, of course, Captain. Thank you." And then
I just take them.
And she kind of like nods, and that kind of we have exchanged enough pleasantries to have counted as an exchange. That is the nod. It's a very specific one. One of 17.
Unless anyone else wants to interact with them, I'd probably let them go and then just turn to Lohengramm. Just go.
I want to avoid them.
I don't know how Lohengramm would feel about that. No, carry on. Screw it.
And I'd just be like, that went well. Like, because as far as I'm concerned, it went well. Like, I don't know what's happened since.
I would just sigh and shake my head.
But you got the soldiers.
Unfortunately, yes.
Wait, I thought we wanted the soldiers.
Yes, but I thought our soldiers were like you. God damn it!
Maybe when he's angry, he's Austrian. Who knows?
And I just look at him and go, Professor, there's nobody like me.
Could I be in on this conversation?
Yeah.
Perhaps idling nearby.
I like that the camera just switches angles slightly, and you're standing there.
You've literally. How long have you been standing there? An hour?
Moving very slowly.
Careful now.
Yes, copyright is a thing. So yeah, he would sort of wait for a polite moment and then just intrude, just walk directly up.
Politely.
Professor.
Attanor, how's it going, my good friend?
Well, I would. You look sort of askance, like I don't know what I'm trying, and your debasement has procured soldiers. He says that as if he said something extremely meaningful.
But like, I can't tell if there was bits missing there, like broke up, or if you were just.
It's possible.
No, like I think it's just the way he pauses. That's all.
Yes, there's going to be a lot of pausing with this guy.
Right. So the basement has procured
your
soldiers.
Basement, not your basement.
Your debasement has procured soldiers? Question mark.
Right. Because I heard basement as well. Makes
Yeah.
a lot of sense.
Basement.
I'm just gonna look at Ludvig and go, I don't even know what debasement means. How dare you?
It's okay. It is okay in the sun, right? Yes, unfortunately, we have procured some soldiers. Much needed soldiers. He's so downtrodden right now. Like, he's so downtrodden.
We both knew that we'd have to do whatever we had to do to get this ship literally off the ground.
Yes. The less pirates, the better, I suppose.
It is best to be prepared.
Just one question, Professor.
Yes.
Do you think we could take them in a fight, just in case they decide they want the ship for themselves?
You?
I mean, is that something you would be saying? I mean,
Thing is, Stephen,
pretty
you're probably
much-
the one that knows the most about them. So you probably know that you probably can't take them.
Yeah.
This is like the Makos turning up, you know?
I'll just if they're away, I'll just be like, Professor, whatever rooms they're in, we need a way to open those rooms to the outside.
I agree. We cannot trust these military folks. No offense intended, sir.
As a military folk, I concur.
The- yes. It would be best to be prepared for all eventualities.
Do you have any ideas, Mr. Attanor? Any elven trickery? Yeah?
My people are honest and steadfast, Professor.
I apologize. I apologize.
However, we would. It was the king had expressed wishes that he sort of gestures broadly towards the ship itself. Thing not be a venture of the human military.
Is this your king?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Attanor, I mean, me personally, I do not like this. I mean, it's all very, very messy, you know? Like, human millet. Ugh. Ugh.
Other peoples may interpret a flying human military base as a threat.
Can I pause everybody here?
I-
So, I'm happy with Colin's character saying a human military threat. Can everybody who's actually human say the Republic's military, please?
yeah.
Thank you.
Could I speak up at this point, having known somewhat about, like, having spent some time with Attanor and their views of humanity? A little.
Broadly suspicious.
Like, oddly. Just be a bit. Your people sent you, yes?
He looks confused, but yes.
Why only one?
I am
You-
sufficient.
You were 10 soldiers? God damn it, man! Why didn't you tell me this earlier? Then I wouldn't need this stupid.
What I mean, Prince, is if you are enough on your own, then 10 human Republic soldiers is not that threatening. It's not really a base we're in. It flies and has some soldiers, but not really enough for an outright assault on anything of tactical value. We could maybe ransack some small villages, but
It is.
That's not necessarily true.
it's not necessarily. I'm not lying.
I really hope the finale shows you
That was
otherwise.
a character. I've been listening in.
You all look down and see
Okay.
the child.
And I just go, great kid, don't get cocky.
I think at this point as well, Ash would probably approach you because she's been listening too, because we're all on the deck.
Oh my god!
Everyone's just been listening in.
We're all listening,
You know?
Yeah,
Like-
it's
like-
interesting. Yous were over there talking to the king of the humans. That's interesting. Why wouldn't I be listening to what you were saying?
I doubt
So-
there's a single person that's not been listening.
Yeah, exactly.
I am also
Um,
here.
Even
But
even
yeah,
Becca's standing there.
She'd just
Like-
approach you and like look between Lohengramm and Nathaniel and just say, "You don't trust your own people."
Fair, I mean, with you, the king is so arsey.
It's like, he means arty.
You asked for those soldiers, didn't you?
Yes, unfortunately.
Well, why are you talking about finding ways to kill them?
I did nothing of the sort.
I did. I did. Well, I guess humans don't always like other humans, especially if it means they can get a ship that is flown by a magic tree.
point again. And
Did you invite
confirmation.
people onto this ship who want to hurt Ilya?
Don't worry, the ship is still mine. Like, they have no jurisdiction over Ilya.
To be
Humans
fair,
have little conception that a tree is of value.
Ilya is
Excuse me?
probably. I was going to say, whoa, Prince.
I would be very
Like,
upfront.
Whoa! Did you hear him, Professor?
That tree is the most marvelous thing I've ever seen.
She
How
has
did
a
you say this
name,
about me?
Attanor. She has a name.
I think Ash is like, at the moment you said that, Attanor, she crossed her arms and like looked completely outraged and nodded along with Lohengramm, but when Nathaniel's like, oh, she has a name, she just burst into this ridiculous grin. Like,
Uh,
We call it a
I'd probably-
Ranagrin.
I'd
Yes.
probably turn to
more
Ash
teeth than you could actually have.
An
and
option
let
3
her-
grin.
and
I
let
mean,
her
she
know
probably does
that
have more teeth than you. So
everyone on this ship is probably expendable to them. The ship is probably expendable to them. The tree is not. Ilya is probably the safest thing on this ship.
yes,
I just
but
say
would
Zhia, point to
rather-
Zhia. In my head.
I would rather you told them as little of her as possible.
I'd literally put my hand on Ash's shoulder and goes, I know nothing to tell them.
I mean, every time I poke you about the tree, you brush me off, so I don't know anything about the tree.
I think we know it's a tree, right, Professor?
Right, T-shape. She probably wouldn't brush you off. She'd probably just tell you a bunch of stuff you don't understand because it's magic. It's not science.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Like so our answer of we
That's a
we
good
have
distinction.
we don't know anything to tell
What was
them.
that, Craig?
I'm saying that's a good distinction to make there.
But yeah, I think if you do say that, oh, I know nothing, she'd just look outraged
I
at
think-
you. Like,
I think, yeah, the problem for that would be the way I kind of see it, and obviously people can correct me if I'm wrong, only if I'm wrong. And obviously the professor will be like, okay, so trees soak up this, they, use photosynthesis, blah 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 blah. She goes, no, you touch it and you feel this, and then there's the commune of the spirit, and then it grows, and then you're like, no. No, it doesn't.
No, this is photosynthesis.
And like, this is what Carlotta told me about trees, and this is how trees work. And you're obviously saying you feel things and you touch things and it does things.
I
No.
think she'd point out as well that Ilya's special. Like, she would
I'd l-
say that this is a special tree.
I'd like to think that Nathaniel sometimes when nobody's looking touches Ilya. Like and he's just like nah, I
To
don't
be
get
fair
it."
though, bits of it do grow throughout there's roots going
Yeah.
down the sides of corridors and stuff like pipes.
So you could probably touch the tree wherever you are in the ship.
So sometimes I touch the tree to try and like because this one keeps telling me that she touches the tree and then
I
it,
don't
it,
do
does
it, and
the
it does
thing.
things.
like and I'm just like it's a bit mossy sometimes. Like, I don't want it growing in my bed. Can it just go round?
It mostly has roots that kind of go through the ship like power lines,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like pipes.
and like sometimes bits of them glow, so that's like the cool hallway lighting.
Oh, like the start of Mass Effect 2 with the emergency lights.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Something else we
So
got
it, when Ash looks like was it upset when we were like we don't know anything.
Yeah, she kind of looked
Um,
like mildly outraged because
I'd
she's
go-
told you this.
I've been talking
Okay.
about this tree for a year.
We'll go. I'll correct myself and go. Okay, we don't understand it. You can tell us about spirits and touching the tree. Doesn't mean we can do it.
I didn't say you could, but I have been telling you about the tree. So whatever you remember of what I've said, don't tell it to them. If
If
you
I
don't
tell
trust
them-
I don't trust them.
I nod sagely. It is wise that the humans stay away from magic.
I go. I can. I look at the professor and go. We could probably, we can show you how this conversation would go. Professor, ask me how the tree works.
Light absorbing
No, I
Please.
said, no, Professor, I said ask. I didn't ask you. I said ask me how the tree works.
Wait, how does the tree work?
You touch the tree and then you speak to the spirit.
The what?
That's how that conversation would go.
I think what I
Gosh.
love though out of this, sorry, is the fact that you've failed trying to fake the conversation in character, and I think that says enough about how much you've probably listened to Ash.
It
She
was a very
probably-
in-character way to fuck up as
Yeah.
well.
she probably look between the two of you, like look confused, shake her head, and go, "Fair enough, but I'm not happy with people that you don't trust on this ship. It's taken me long enough to trust you."
And I will reply, that makes two of us unhappy about having people we don't trust on the ship. They're here out of necessity.
They're not allowed in Elia's room. And then she
I-
just walks off towards Elia's room.
I mean, I think that sounds fair, Professor.
Yes.
Dakota
Yes.
Kai are strange people.
I just look at Attanor up and down and go, sure.
Absolutely.
Captain.
What's up,
little
kid?
Russell, how's it
He's
going?
talking to me, Professor.
Oh wait, yeah, Captain. You're the captain. Carry on.
Stay in character, guys. I like this.
As I was saying, we could destabilize governments with 10 soldiers. We could drop them anywhere. They could get in anywhere, opening up the entire area for a military assault on a much larger scale. I don't think that we should not think we're a threat. People down there will think we're a threat.
This is the mind of youth.
I just lean into the Professor and go, he's totally right. I was playing down how much of a threat we are. Like, we are really a threat. We are the most fanciest airship out here. We're the only one. We can go farther, probably faster, for longer, and we have some of the best soldiers of the Republic at our disposal. We are so dangerous.
Ah, yes, speak about my baby more. Yes.
Oh, like this time I roll my eyes.
They scream,
Julie,
obviously.
For once in my life, I roll my eyes at someone.
I don't like the military being here. This was meant to be a scientific endeavor. It's not going to stay that way long if we let them take over the ship, and we have to do what the king says. Like, I don't know how we don't do what the king says. We have to do what the king says. But yeah,
Well, that's why we don't let them take over the ship.
My dear Russell, you have a 7-foot tall robot. I have a power armor, and we have an Attanor. It's fine. Everything's fine.
they have years of military training. We can't.
We have an Attanor. It's fine.
He's worth 10 of them. Apparently.
Many years of training. They
See?
are
Many.
quite.
But there's 10 of them with multiple
Numerous.
years of training. They probably all have, like, they could kill us all.
What are they armed with, Ryan? I'd probably have a not like under. I'd probably know what their general armament would be. Not
Well-
all their any fancy toys, but like what is it? Just a sword? Do they have some flintlock pistols type of thing?
As I said, like pistols are relatively rare
Yeah.
in general. They're also seen as
These
they're-
are the fancy guys. I thought they might have some.
they're also seen as kind of dishonorable to not face your
Oh,
opponent
excellent.
in sword on sword battle, mostly because people
Where did they
that
get
are
a load of my swords?
indeed the like someone with a rudimentary pistol would be seen as a coward because they're not brave enough to fight someone with a sword, essentially in the kind of human culture, if you will.
I need so many more pistols.
So
Everyone has 18 pistols.
at
by
all
next week.
times, at least.
All drawn, all loaded, all ready.
I can just
Cocked
imagine
and
All
off.
welded to Bertrand.
Nathaniel standing in the middle of the 10 soldiers with 10 pistols. They go, what are you going to do with them? Be cowardly! Coward for days!
No, the phrase is you just look at them in the eye and go, be brave. You pull the 10 triggers with that one piece of string you've tied around all of them.
Fires every direction. As they all fall, I just go, cats and dogs living together.
It never works. It never works.
I like the idea that that's maybe what you say as you shake your head walking away from whatever scene this will conclude eventually. When you go, cats and dogs living together, it'll never be good. Military and civilians. Saying this as a military member, of course, Stephen.
Yeah. Well, remember, I don't like the military. They were just the only way I could get onto an airship.
And that's also why, like, your commanding officer gave you a pistol as a present as well. He's like, you probably need this. Like, I mean, it's probably going to keep you alive, because, I mean, I've seen you fight with a sword. So, yeah.
RPing with your guys is great because of these stupid cutaways. They're amazing.
What do you mean stupid cutaways? These are vital.
This is literally the key
Your
point.
dad's a stupid
Hold on.
cutaway.
Don't go there.
your dad sells cutaways.
But speaking of stupid cutaways, back in to what I was saying,
there are dozens of us.
I think we need an editor for recording.
No, everything goes up. So
Fix it in post.
no, we won't. Nobody fixes anything in post. The post is broken. The rhinos are asleep. So that's an old reference, anyway. Postal rhinos.
I'd probably ask Russell.
No, I'm going to go back to the description. I never actually finished.
Oh, sorry.
So they're very well armoured, and it's a kind of mix between kind of almost steampunk Victorian fabrics. I know that sounds vague as fuck. I enjoy that. Mixed with like kind of military plate, like as in like almost like medieval plate, but mixed again with a fabulous brass coloured fabrics and whatnot. They look fancy enough to be recognised as better than you, but practical enough to realise you don't mess with them. You know, kind of akin to how, obviously those of you who have seen Star Wars and you have like the Royal Guard, clearly look different to a normal guard, but a lot of it's fabric so they can move easier. It's not just heavy armour clunking around like stormtroopers have. It's actually quite loose and like plates that hang from the fabric and things. So yeah, you've probably never seen them fight ever. You just know that if they're ever used, the thing gets done, and then nobody talks about it.
Commandos. Oh, they're literally Republic Commandos.
Yes, they are. No, anyway, unless they're Commonwealth Commandos or unless they're Empire Commandos, like we'll get to that.
Gas commanders.
You mean Jan Senna's commanders, or commandos even? Anyway, so they're all armed. As the actual question, they're all armed with the only thing you can see them armed with at least is a sword on their like their backs.
Okay. I'd probably turn to Russell, or look down at Russell. I don't know how tall Russell is.
I'm 5'10". I'm not that short.
Oh, you're the same height as Ash.
Yeah, you're a whole foot shorter than me, so I look down at Russell.
Wait, you're 6'10"?
I'm 6'1".
You're 4
Oh,
feet
6'1".
bigger than Boxy.
Sorry, I don't know feet. All right.
So you're 3 inches in height different.
Is that not a foot? Who knows? I look at Russell, and I ask him, "It's probably best you keep Bertrand out of their way."
Why? What are they going to do to him?
I don't know. That's the whole point.
No. Like, as you say, like keeping Bertrand out of it, it's like this is his home. How can he tell his brother to just stay in a cupboard or something?
I'm not telling him to lock him in a cupboard. I'm just saying to give them a wide berth.
Doesn't Zhia live in a
Can't we
cupboard?
just lock them in the quarters until they're needed like the animals that they are?
Can we not?
Got the box I brought him in on.
You don't need to keep him in a box. I don't want him kept in a box. He's your brother. Your brobot, you know? Like, that's his jam. I don't let them know how smart you are.
Okay.
Oh, come on. You literally, and I'm literally just like, do you know what? You literally told me how scary we are because there's 10 soldiers. Just shh.
Probably just look like you're acting like the king now.
Well, to be fair, I probably don't act that differently. I
We
have
plan to get rid of them.
I have a cunning plan. Instead of making the ship open up and drop them out, like there's no kind of atmosphere, and they're all alone.
Which we don't want.
How about
Mhm.
we get Carlotta to make some sort of sleeping powder we can deploy in the room if needed. Yes, that's not bad, right?
Carlotta sighs.
Oh, hiya. Didn't see you.
Hi.
Hi. Can you make a lot of it?
Don't encourage him, please.
Attanor has absolutely no idea what he's trying to do with
Not
that.
even I laughed at that.
Someone did. It was effective.
Well, I mean, I could, but I'd need a lot of time, and it's quite hard work, and I don't know, it'd be really difficult. But I could do it. But I just
What else are you doing?
lots of important research.
A lot of stuff. I get you.
He's studying the tree.
I studying the.
I didn't really say he. She.
And do you know what? I can totally buy that you or your character would totally just change them, like willy nilly when you're referring to people.
That's the problem, though, isn't it? There is Nilly Willy on Carlotta, so if we could quickly keep.
But well, when you have the time, just enough to talk out 10 humans in peak physical condition, probably trained against stuff like that,
Well, there's
Or-
a matter of the resources. I don't have half the materials I need to actually create.
But you
some
have
sleeping drug.
half the materials you need.
If
I
we
mean,
harm
if you
them,
want to be optimistic, then yeah, but
How about a little bit of optimism?
I'm afraid I can't help you there.
if
And
we
so
harm them,
Russell-
it'll only be worse.
We only harm them if they harm us.
But then it's too late.
What do you want from me, Russell? I'm either planning in case they harm us, or I just kill them in their sleep. And you're telling me don't kill them in their sleep because that's bad.
And then you
we
hear,
ask for them.
guys,
We just unask
Guys.
for them.
guys, you hear someone clear their throat behind you, like I just did
And I
for
just
dramatic
go-
effect.
Like, and that's why when you get onto a pirate ship, you just kill them in their sleep.
It's a glorious idea. Hello, Commander. How are you?
Captain, Professor, Entourage, hello. Yes, the crew soldiers have settled in.
Ah, very good, very good. I hope your quarters are to your liking. Yes.
I assume we will be setting off soon.
Post haste.
No, the post is down for today, unfortunately, by royal decree.
Haste, Nathaniel. Haste.
I hastily go to the bridge.
And then, as you about to leave, she puts like her hand on your shoulder to stop you. And it's over wherever your like rank would be on your uniform,
Mhm.
which is kind of rude because it basically means that she considers herself a higher rank than you. And that's one of those kind of weird quirks of the Republic. I will station a guard. You're very valuable, I hear, to the Republic. Youngest
Very valuable to
captain
me.
of a Republic ship, also. Or at least a ship within the Republic.
Ship's a ship.
This one I hear is special. And she gives like a really kind of like uncharacteristic smile at that.
Ah, nothing special about this. Just.
Excuse me, Professor, we're having a private conversation.
Well, I would think you will find that this is my ship, and I can butt into any conversation I want, madam.
As per the agreement,
I'll look at her and just go, he really will do that.
as per the agreement you made with your king. And then she looks at like Nathaniel and goes, "Our king. You actually can't."
I look at the professor and go, What deal was that?
I'm trying to think of that myself.
And then
No smoking away.
and then she takes her hand off your like the rank, and she
jet.
clicks her fingers in the air again, and 2 soldiers appear as if you're like, oh, they were there the whole time, and one stands near the captain and one stands near the professor. These gentlemen will keep you safe.
Where did they? Were they not moving? Or like,
These ninjas.
They were eating crisps. They were busy.
Yeah.
So,
Very, very quickly.
Well, mesdames, I prefer to work alone, so.
and she just looks around at everyone as you say that to her. She's like, evidently, Professor, I will be in my quarters. If you run into trouble, please scream. And then she turns on her kind of like heel and just marches off down below deck.
Why would we scream?
Because of I turn around and look at my new friend and go, "Hello, I'm Nathaniel."
Indeed, sir.
It's good talk, you know. It's good talk.
Quite.
So, do you know anything about flying airships?
That's not my job. I hear that's your
Good.
job.
It is. So stay out of it. And then I walk away to the bridge.
Oh yeah.
Or he follows you. Like if you stop walking, he will bump into you. That's how close he is.
So I stop walking a lot.
Yep. you are manhumped a lot.
Do you know what? I take it for the team.
I like it.
You gotta be humped some way. What?
I've been on this ship for a year. I'll take what I can get. The tree's giving me nothing.
It should be the engine room girl that says that. I've seen Firefly.
I think Kahr would have been kind of on the outskirts of the conversation all the time, just watching the back and forth like some kind of fun tennis match.
Like, do I jump in? Do I not jump in?
It's like all of the angles are currently being covered. When I see an opening, I will hop on in there. But
What's the title of your section?
Yeah.
It's like, it's
I think she went below deck. Just saying.
and would kind of materialize at the professor's elbow and kind of look around him to his new friend, and kind of look the soldier man up and down kind of distastefully, and turn to the professor and say, "Sir, are we all to get one of these for our protection?"
I hope not. I hope not. Gunther here is quite enough. He's nicknamed Gunther, by the way. Like, that's that guard's name to me. He's Gunther.
Like, even if they rotated them out, I imagine you're probably just going to refer to them as Gunther regardless.
Yes, exactly.
I've supplied you with 2 gifts on my reaction to the commander turning up. Man, imagine how bad that could have went so quickly.
But,
do you know what's hilarious, Ryan? You literally had her turn up where I went, "Wow, I'm saying this loudly on the deck in my own head." Like, literally at the moment when I was loud, I was like, and you were like, I was like, "Damn it, he caught on to the fact."
I told you, I try and get in the headspace of my players. It doesn't always work, but I try.
Right, I will try and never think about bad things.
Yes.
Never thinking.
That worked for the Ghostbusters.
Okay, so yeah, Craig.
Sim was scrolling through the names. Kahr, was Kahr done there?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, because the professor just said Gunther here, whatever he said.
Yes. Yes, I was there. Yeah, I guess once that's all died down, Zia's probably just been standing at the deck, listening and watching from the deck at this entire thing that's been going on. Probably just start heading towards the tree. I forget the name again. Can somebody please remind me?
Ilya.
Ilya. Ilya.
I'm gonna write
This is
There's
going
no
to be
I in there. It's
so
Ilya.
consistent.
Ilya.
Eel.
Can I post a picture
done.
of a very majestic tree and the character thing and call it Ilya? And then we'll know.
Just make it a playable character.
I have a picture of an ice tree. Probably not
Um,
what Ilya looks like, but I'll post
Yeah,
it.
so Zhia would head towards Ilya, or the room that hosts Ilya,
Ilya.
and
Don't take
Ilya.
her
Yeah.
tea. She doesn't
Ilya.
like-
and stand outside the door and just stand guard there, or the
Fine.
entranceway, however that
Aw.
looks.
Fantastic. Love Zhia. It's great. Well,
She has a name.
I would turn to like Carlotta and I'd be like, so those materials you needed.
I'm actually going to post a picture of what I would say, because this is actually Idrisil.
Yggdrasil, the mother tree,
It's also a really
the
cool
mother
logo.
tree.
I've got one with green on it, if you'd prefer.
Yeah, green, please.
That's cool. I like that.
It is pretty, isn't it?
Yes.
There you go.
Oh, I love.
I'm going to edit
Can you
this.
add the name above or on the post?
Yeah.
I mean,
Clare
this is me
spelling.
just being artsy, but there is
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Claire, spelling.
I think it's just
You think?
Ilya. I was tired when we came up.
I know,
with
I
it.
know three Ilyas. I know three Ilyas. It's ILYA.
I thought
Oh,
you said
it's
there was no
E.
I in it.
It's EL.
Oh, it's E? What is this?
It's that.
ELJ.
Yeah. So it's
No, it's
it's what I've got on the actual
What?
picture.
yeah.
ELJ. Ilya.
Ilya.
Okay.
I'm writing in brackets. Said eel. Yeah.
Yep, Ilya.
Done.
Way to dumb it right down.
I need to dumb it down.
There you go.
Yeah, thanks.
Ilya.
That's what I typed.
I'm going to type this.
What are we having for dinner? Ilya.
Yeah.
Don't you eat my tree. I got the joke, but
I might eat the tree.
I think maybe if Ash noticed or Ash was visible, like Zio would probably like bow a little bit and then turn around and just stand. And stand guard.
Well, like below deck.
Like at the entranceway to the
I like the idea that maybe I hadn't quite made it to the tree yet.
So that's below deck.
Yeah.
As in, so
like,
you need to
just
go
as
into like where like the commander went, and then down to the bows of the
Yes.
ship, and then so
Yeah.
okay, cool.
I said that I was heading there.
Yep.
I like maybe the idea that I hadn't quite entered the room yet, so I'm about to go in, and then you're there, and you do the bow thing, and
Oh.
then I just kind of nod at you and go in.
Okay. Yeah. You'd need to go do something else before heading to the room though, because I waited for the entire
I
conversation
can do
where you
something
left.
else, like look
Cool.
vacantly out a window for 5 minutes.
I should trek on my tree, but first the window.
What a beautiful view of a human city.
Goodbye, human city.
I hope to never see you again.
Goodbye, this city.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
For those of you who are watching,
It's there.
I mean, yeah, basically there.
It's all over.
But it's actually mostly so people watching the stream can see all the images we're sharing,
Yeah.
because they can only see the Roll20.
Hmm.
They. Plural!
That's wishful thinking.
I mean, if you listen to it while editing and I listen to it once, then that's they.
And I'll listen
I'll
to
be listening to it. It'll
Oh,
have at
promises,
least 10
promises.
views.
I always listen to the parts where I'm in it.
Yeah. Literally on all the Star Wars RPG, I just skipped forward to the parts where Psi 9 was there.
Talking
My
about
favourite
sand.
thing-
So,
That's not
So
my
that'd be like-
whole shtick.
25 minutes.
right, let's go back to the fact that we're still in this game. I know we've all RP'd together lots except
Don't
Calum.
References. Obscure references.
Previous references. So anyone that wants to go watch Shadows of the Light,
for breakfast.
Shadows of the Light on YouTube, check out.
I
Like and subscribe.
Shameless plug.
Like and subscribe. Or dislike, but still subscribe.
Hashtag 60s is in the movie.
Subscribe.
Right, so what's everybody else doing?
Composure, gentlemen. Right, can I turn to Carlotta before this conversation ends at the back? So those ingredients we were talking about for the special brew, go speak to Vivi about it. She's got a face.
Oh, okay, I'll get to work.
Good stuff.
And then I sidle off down to the lab, I guess, and start.
Yeah, you got a lot of work.
And then I would just kind of go like, okay, I will go down to my lab now. Come, Gunther, come.
He just like his eyes move to look at you, but like the rest of him doesn't. He has a glorious handlebar moustache.
Oh, fantastic! He's absolutely a Gunther.
I think like every time you get a new Gunter, you need to like pick up something really strong in your iron suit and just crush it with your hand and go, ah, look at this! Wonderful, yes.
just like an apple. Every time he goes by the barrel of apples, just pick up one, crush it. Yes.
Yes, Gunther.
Yeah.
Yes.
Only a bit.
Right, so you head down to your lab.
Yes.
Okay. Yep, and like as soon as you move off, he'll follow.
I slam the door in his face though and lock it before he enters.
Roll.
Fantastic.
Yay! More
Quickly!
rolls!
So
Let's raid! Let's raid!
So you need to type in what you're doing. That's for you, Nico. And this is
I'm typing it.
This is a roll off.
Do enjoy a good roll off. What about a roll on?
I see.
The hammer rolled you off?
I was more thinking like a deodorant.
Right, so what are you gonna roll? What are we doing here?
Unlock it.
Yeah, I don't mean to lock you. I feel like this is like coordination or something.
It's probably not coordination.
Seems right.
I mean, you're trying to like slam a door in someone's face. It's probably some variation of strength.
Okay then.
So do you have athletics?
Yeah, I can do athletics.
Cool. So you set yours, and I'll set mine as the difficulty.
Okay. Right, it's 3 greens. 3 green.
I don't think you're going to win this.
I know, but I mean, man's got to try, right?
No. Have you learned nothing from years of playing with me?
Right, so do you want to roll?
Yes. Is the pool set up?
Is yours set up? So you should have 3 greens, yep. And then push the dice button, the D20.
Oh,
that's a bad.
That's. Oh my God, he's got reds. He's got reds, lads.
That's a
3
bad miss.
failures, 3 advantage, and 2 despair.
He's
I mean,
got.
Oh no!
They did say to scream if you were in trouble, so.
So the door to your lab, as you slam shut, you hear crunch, crunch really fast, and it's the actual what they're called, hinges. That's the word. It's the hinges that have just been punched, with like a kind of very anime, two-fisted, full-body slam into the door. And
Was it passed down the Armstrong line?
oh yes, as I said, this is Major Gunter now apparently, and you're now kind of sat on your ass, holding half of a door, as the other half is behind you.
I repeat.
What are you doing with your advantage? Because I'm pretty sure you're going to roll on the critical injury table for me.
Oh God.
And add 10 to the result. Yeah.
Oh my.
Because you got 2. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm getting injured in the first episode.
Yeah.
Great.
Twice?
Wait, isn't he supposed to stop me from being injured?
You turned on him.
I didn't turn anything. I just wanted my privacy.
Attempting to slam the door on Gunter's face before he enters.
And knocking it.
God,
Can you see why I get used to type it? Can you see?
Proverbially. Slam it on his face.
Right, so
He didn't give him time to explain.
oh, references.
Such lies.
Right, so
Could just the advantages just be saying, Major, your arms are strong, and then that becomes his name.
roll a d100
Okay.
plus 10.
Oh,
Don't do it. It's a trap. Tell him, Claire.
no.
Well, that's a
You'll never
big
get
one.
that from me.
That's a big roll.
Right, does anyone know where this happens to be offhand? Because
Fuck no.
No.
76.
Pretty
I've
sure.
got, I've got the book next to me. Hold on. Boop, 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 boop.
Fellowship, he
76
stabbed
is
me.
not a great roll for a call.
66. It's already got a plus 10.
No, it's plus. Oh, is it? Right.
It's
What?
76.
is the page number?
Oh, has that got the plus 10?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the part I care about. The page number.
Critical hits 213, 231. I'm just going to find it. now.
Okay, so 66 is... Do you want to read this out, Nico? Because I think you should read this out. It's on page 231 of the PDF.
Okay. Let me get this.
Oh wait, that's vehicles. What are you talking about? That's vehicles. Stephen, you gave us a bad one.
It's
It just said- it just
In the physical book, it's 230.
That's... What did I say? Yeah,
It's literally the page after that, right?
Okay.
After the vehicles.
I'm trying to find.
So what's
Is
the
the
print?
rulebook?
What's the printed page exactly?
Hold on. I think that's the
230.
vehicles critical hit rules. Yeah, that's the vehicles.
That's
critical
still
hit rules.
the vehicles.
Is it?
Yes. Did
Yeah,
you,
it's the vehicle
Jeez,
critical
oh.
hits rules.
so nobody
doesn't-
actually read it.
It literally just says critical hits 230, 231 in the... What do you call it? Index.
Index.
There is another
Critical
page.
injury.
Critical injuries. 89,
That's it,
114.
89.
114, I think, is the specific one we're looking for.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
114, here we
150.
go.
I'm currently trying to find the rulebook. Where is it? Sorry.
Well, that's not too bad.
I thought I'd downloaded it. Well, I mean, apparently I didn't.
Do you want me to read it out? I've got it in front of me.
No, I want Nico to read it.
Give me a copy pasta.
While someone does that, I'm going to the toilet. Be right back. Oh, hold on.
Reading mine's a physical copy, so I shan't be the one.
Yeah, me too.
There you go.
Seems.
Mercata.
No one have the PDF.
Yeah.
I could have sworn I
hold on.
had the PDF. Yeah.
Oh, it's not loading. Hold on.
There you go, Nico. It's been pasted.
Donka.
The first squares are purples, and the second square is a blue. Just because that doesn't show up on.
Right. So, the target removes all, scattered senses. The target removes all, what is the purple dice called?
It's a blue one. It's
Blue.
boost dice.
Oh, right. All boost dice from skill checks until this critical injury is healed. That's cool. I don't have any boost dice. That's good.
It also means
That's
when
good.
people actually help you though. They do.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah, we can't give you boost dice.
Mark that on your sheet, please,
Yes, done.
and take 3 damage.
Oh my god.
Are we making a character screen like we did last one?
For what? Sorry.
Character info screen.
Yeah,
character
partly
info
up.
screen.
No, because it should all be in on your character sheet on roll 20.
Okay.
It's not like, obviously, I don't need to roll against defenses or anything in this, so it's not the same requirements really.
I'm back.
Right. Advantages.
What have you learned from this?
Don't slam the face. Don't try and slam Don Soldier Man Goodnell's face.
I think this maybe highlights how
It's
good
a
these
good idea.
commandos are. Remember when the
Is it-
king said these are the best and why are you taking them?
Is it saying that was it definitely his bare hands? Like, would he notice if they were augmented in
You
any
mean
way?
through the door he was slamming? No, he wouldn't notice
True
shit.
that. No, I mean, obviously, like when the doors
Nico.
fall and the guy's standing there, would you see any mechanisms like retract or anything like that?
Nope. Nico, advantage, any ideas?
Yes. I'm trying to think. I mean, what is advantageous about getting like a door slammed in my face and broken and
You've got a fabulous new idea for better doors.
Actually,
They'll automatically lock.
that's actually a good idea. Can I do it?
Normally I would say, cool, take a boost die to thinking about that later, but
That's fine.
yeah, so guys, this is the only downside I would say to this system is sometimes when you get stuff like this, you're like, what do I do with all this spare currency I don't really know what to do with?
How was getting knocked on
I
my
should totally
ass?
downgraded one of the reds. Should totally downgraded one of the reds. This should be a thing.
Right, so I'm happy
Right.
to fade out there, unless you've got anything to add, Nico.
Just the
Just because we're
just the
slightly over.
scream.
Okay, so
I'm gonna scream.
can we then? The narrative of that then is obviously you walk in the door, maybe just 2 steps before the door. You do a really quick 3-step, maneuver where you go quick, and you go to slam the door. He then does his double-barreled punch. As you get smacked on your ass, half the door goes over your head. You just sit down, staring at the half door, and then you just look at him and scream. Because I like that idea. And then we'll fade out there. In terms of what people enjoyed XP wise, I still want that feedback conversation. Obviously we'll try and end on time to get that conversation in. But what's everybody's thoughts so far? What are people's highlights? This is the part where we remember Star Wars, where we try and kind of canch for XP.
I really enjoyed the conversation that everyone had on the bridge.
The deck.
I was going to say the
yeah,
deck.
the bridge, the deck.
Not the...
Yeah.
They're different places. The bridge has
Not
a name.
The cook. Not the cook.
What
We
deck?
did not have a conversation on the cook.
No, we did
Um,
a conversation the dick.
On the upper deck of the ship.
Deck pulled you off.
Okay, so that's Claire. Calum?
We get 5 XP for the
Calum?
amazing rendition
Thank you,
of
Calum.
Jeff Goldblum.
That's perfect,
Yes.
Calum.
Yeah, no, I really liked
Yeah.
dear professor's conversation with the good old king. That was awesome. His mockingly bow sort of thing was just a nice touch. I was very happy.
Okay, I'm pleased you were happy.
And everything.
Emma?
Does any of it do my highlights have to involve me? Because
They can,
I think
but they don't have to. This is mostly just out what you enjoyed about the session, or other people's roleplay, or in general how great I am. I'm sorry, how
Well,
humble I am.
you know I love you, Ryan,
I know.
especially
And
for
I do-
how
do
humble you are.
And I do feel your humble love.
I think possibly my favorite part so far was the conversation between Nico, Stephen, and Gib in character.
Just before they were interrupted, type one.
Yes,
yeah.
Just because I think that I love all the voices. I think all the voices are brilliant, and I think the characterization of their people so far is very consistent, and I liked it.
Stephen.
Which bit did I really enjoyed Attanor. I really enjoy the way he speaks, and the way he puts himself forward, whether it's from in the cave to the conversation that we had on the deck with him, where I didn't understand what he was saying. That was awesome. I really liked that.
Thank you.
I am a fan of Ash's smiling every time someone mentions the fact the tree has a name.
She
I do
probably
like
went
that.
a whole year without people saying it, so or going, oh okay, and then just not using it.
Nico?
I'm also a big fan of Attanor. Attanor's fun. I'm going to have great times with Attanor. He's probably not going to have great times with me, but that's fine. I also loved Gibbs' character. He was playing
Young Russell.
He's playing the young Russell very, very well, to be honest with you. enjoy this. Kahr's curiosity is fantastic. I do like the curiosity, playing it well. And I mean, just a Jeff Goldblum, man. I mean, come on. It's actually a
They're
genuine
really good
Goldblum.
at making characters that Nico hates.
You really are.
I think it's just because I'm secretly really detestable. That's maybe what it is. Super secretly though, right?
Yeah.
Obviously.
There's nothing on the surface that people could dislike at all.
That's why I like you all being shallow.
I am shallow.
Craig?
And also,
Oh.
sorry, before Craig goes, I'd also like to retouch a Zhia going to protect the tree. That was fantastic.
I enjoyed that too.
That's a nice touch. Good touch.
Good touch. No touch to the tree, but good touch.
You can try.
So touch the tree. I touch the tree.
No, I don't want to touch the tree. I don't know what happens if I touch the tree. I think
Maybe you are part of the tree.
Everything explodes.
Part of your
All
arm
chairs in the
becomes
world
part tree.
explode.
Oh god, not the exploding chairs.
Liz, kitty berry.
Oh no!
I really enjoyed Professor LVL. Just his character.
Can you say his name once for me though,
the
fully?
fact that
Can you
was-
say his name fully once for me?
No. No. Not even once.
It's in roll 20, just look at it, it's right there.
No.
Just once for me, Craig, please.
Okay. Ludvig.
Fanta.
We're done. Okay.
Okay, we'll get there a word at a time.
We'll get like a each part, each session.
Lester van Lebensraum.
Anvil, Kevlar, and
Kevlar
Bling.
and
Alright, so Craig, sorry, you were saying you enjoyed.
Ladle's very liquidy. Yeah, I enjoyed his character and his like descent into Arnie, but then pulling it back to actually your character. It was actually really nice because we got a progression there, and you slipped into something that was good. Like when you came back out of Arnie, that is.
The accent will settle over time.
you
It's good.
said you could be an Arnie.
I particularly enjoyed the door exploding moment. That's nice, and I would love. I want to see how that resolves. Like the ending to that scene, I need to see.
It's a good place to end the first session, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. I love
Screaming.
that we got a critical injury in the first session.
Well, it serves
I
me
love
for
that we've
throwing
got
it, but-
screaming so soon.
Yep, well, it's the eye rolls, isn't it? So,
Screaming eye rolls.
That's me.
Colin?
Okay. So possibly a slightly longer one. I liked hearing people play new roles. This is a completely new experience for me, having previously only played Dietrich, and the only person that I had any experience of really changing character was Ryan, GM, and honestly, they were all Cadfael.
How dare you?
But that is
Right, you're not invited next week, fuck you.
I had no experience of interacting with someone as a different character on both our parts. That was completely new to me, and it was interesting. It's difficult. I liked hearing people even take on different, like how subtly different. For instance, like Mort was very gibbish. This what's his name? Russell is not. Like that's interesting. Like because you don't necessarily always expect certain people to do a voice or something. Like not everyone does. It's hard for me to do a voice for this character because I don't have one in my mind. So I'm just kind of flailing around and hoping it works. You may have noticed, like I really was struggling for words a lot, which I actually think sort of worked.
Oh no, it totally did.
Yeah,
it totally did.
Really does.
It did
It
kind of
adds a layer to elves entirely.
I was going to say, it
Yes, we
adds
don't know
that
how to
double translation thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I think was a wonderful idea because it really does give me an excuse to be not as good the second time round.
You're welcome.
I also enjoyed that. I really enjoyed the
There's only
description
so
of
many
flailing and
times
hope.
that you can rely on that I'm new.
I mean, it's still working for me somewhat.
Is it?
I don't get that excuse. I'm a bit disappointed.
Anything else to add,
No.
Colin? Because that was good. Like,
It was fun getting to stretch my legs as the character and to see the other characters in action. I loved that Jeff fucking Goldblum was one of Ludvig van Lohengramm is fast becoming one of my favourites, I have to say. Because he is completely fucking absurd.
What's the point?
Someone had to have a German name. So yeah, great, good stuff.
Gib?
I like the bit where Stephen remembered. Oh, sorry, Nathaniel remembered the tree's name.
Yeah.
I didn't expect him to do that.
Just Stephen do that, or Nathaniel?
Either.
One could say that.
Was that
No,
the part
Nathaniel and
early on?
Stephen.
Sorry, like when he was gonna say like the tree, but he stops himself saying the tree, and then he says Ilya.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
like he's like changed and like he's learned something, so he's using it.
That's good. Yeah. As I said,
His character growth within like minutes. But
I think there'd be things where, character-wise, Nathaniel doesn't care about, but when the people on the ship seem to care about it, he's like, okay, right. It means something then.
So give it anything else to add for the experience stuff though first.
I don't think so. Like there was a lot of stuff I liked that
Yeah.
people have mentioned already.
Actually,
Realms of being last.
Good. Craig, sorry.
I have an addition because I just recall it.
But what are you subtracting first to make it fit?
No, I can't.
No, we'll just take
Professor LVL will not be subtracted from.
We'll just take Emma's comment out. It's fine.
Okay, that's fine.
What's max LVL?
Like Ash's, or I guess Claire's out of character clarification that Ash has explained the tree's abilities and how it all operates.
Yeah.
That clarification was vital, and I loved it.
Yeah, I did like that as well. To be honest, I
Yeah.
totally forgot about that, and I shouldn't have. That was definitely a good way to put it. It pretty much put a full stop on it,
Like,
instant.
I in character, I'd be like, I wasn't really paying that much attention because I don't need to know how it works. That is the thing.
I feel like just LVL would just think spirits and magic's preposterous and everything can be explained through science. Like that's his thought.
And that is why I never go in the tree room and interact with something that I do not understand.
Can I add also to something I was quite pleased with my performance of? So I've been trying to convey that Attanor is not a good ambassador, and I hope that's come across.
Yeah, he's kind of awkward, isn't he?
He's
like,
not that he's awkward. It's just that he doesn't really know how not to be enormously
No,
patronising.
I like to think that he thinks he's a great ambassador.
He does,
and that's why he's such a bad ambassador. Like,
He also thinks
Are you playing Stephen the Elf?
God, not. My comments about the Kodakai being unusual people, he probably thought that was
Well,
yes,
that was
I will
actually what
say
I was going to
something
say.
appropriate for the moment.
That was one of my favourite scenes. Was when you went, the Kodakai are strange people, and then Nathaniel goes, looks you up and down. Yes. That I really enjoyed that scene.
Yeah, it was good.
But yeah, I thought it was a really good first session. It was a bit. I think we were all over the place because I literally wrote nothing for the plans for this session. I just thought we all need to get over the fact that we're in a new game. And I think we did
for
pretty
a
well.
new game,
It was quite difficult
It
for me.
clicked quite quickly.
I think
I
it's.
thought it was pretty decent.
I-
I mean,
well-
it was chaos.
Yeah, it always fucking.
I think, see, once I was actually in a conversation, it kind of clicked into place. But before that, I was sitting going, oh god, don't say Blana, don't say Blana.
Like it's easy for me being the guy who flies the ship because I can just be like, I'm in the bridge.
Ship stuff.
Ship stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
So, Gibb suggested something to me during play.
Okay.
And it was that every time someone swears, they should take a strain.
Oh man.
So
that's a fucking handicap for me.
So
that's a huge
He's
handicap.
straining for days.
This is monstrous.
This is like a spell jar, Ryan.
Why would you do
This
this?
is where I
No
can-
idea how rich I would
This is where
be.
I can put my parenting skills into play because I don't.
I
Swear
think your
at all
child is where you
during
should
the
put your
day.
parenting skills into display. Thank you very much.
I mean, out with child rearing.
So
Stop insulting my parenting skills.
I'm not. I'm just saying that's where they should be.
I've seen your dice to pull at parenting skills. It's not high.
In terms of XP,
Shut up.
I'm awarding no XP for the first session, and I want everyone
That's
to take
probably
on board
understandable.
what you have said about what you liked about this session, and ideally, what I'd like to see is we've had a lot of Nathaniel, a lot of the Professor. Obviously, I specifically showcased the Professor this particular session. Hopefully, we'll have Robyn and Vittoria. I'd like you guys to help them any way you can. Don't put them rabbit in the headlights if possible. Any more of Attanor? I love Russell so far. He is great. I love his, but they could kill us all, and then we're really dangerous, and we could destabilize governments, and everyone just going, this kid's talking a lot. Like, have you heard the words he's using though? In the order he's chose them in. I like all that. I'd like to hear more about I'd like more input from Zhia and Kahr and Carlotta, because yours are the quiet ones. I like what you did, but at the same time, even if it's just when everybody's talking, for example, if I take a Zhia, for example, it's the easiest one to explain. Even if you wouldn't do anything, just say at some point, while you guys are all talking, Zhia's just staring off at the side or just watching the group, and then maybe the glow is changing depending on if it's actually interested or not. Just enough to, if you notice you've not said anything and the same person has spoke, then somebody else speaks, and then that person speaks again, remind yourself you should probably involve yourself in that conversation if someone spoke twice. And that's a rule for everybody. I don't mean shout over each other, God no, but try and wade in. It will be difficult, session one.
It's so difficult.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, there is a lot more
you
of
don't
that
want to
numbers.
trust anyone, but some people
But
people want to keep it going, so they keep talking.
no, definitely, I get that. But at the same time, there's nothing wrong with editing conversations on the fly by going, before this happens, can I say this? Or before you start rambling about that, could I have butt in with this? And if you go, but do you mind if I finish this first? You can navigate that. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's just, I would like people to actually engage with each other.
There was a point at which I was gonna. It was just a tiny thing, but I couldn't find out the right moment. I didn't want to interrupt the flow of the ongoing conversation to say Dietrich is not Dietrich. Fuck, man.
Bingo!
I knew! I'm playing this card now!
No, you can't use it. Sorry, your new last
who
game.
has-
You have a year. That's it.
Yeah.
Literally been playing for a year.
Who has Colin objects to Colin bingo?
Double bingo!
When sets, I'm not going to call it scene
Right.
Senna. It was sort of introducing himself to the entourage. Like Attanor would have been like, "That's not a proper introduction." He would probably have been quite offended that he wasn't specifically,
addressed.
given an introduction. Yeah.
No, I like that. I think that's definitely something you could maybe pick up on, narratively with her, maybe later.
Yeah, I could carry on later.
Which I like. I like where we left it as well. We will try and finish at 10:30 as well. Do people want to finish at 10:20 and do the 10-minute chat of XP though? Is that better for people, or do you just want to do the 10-minute chat after the 30 mark? Because I got a funny feeling that Naomi and Clare are probably going to want to vote for the 20 past to 30.
I mean, I
If we
feel
finish
like
bang on 5:30.
Whatever the lowest common denominator is, it's the simplest.
Yeah.
I'm going to now stop the recording. Goodbye, whoever decides to actually listen to this, by the way. Thanks for listening.
See you in the sky.
Add to basket.
And
Don't forget to call Kitty Perry.
Session
I'm
1
allowed to swear in my native tongue.
ends.